game already under their belt. The Eureka Red Devils come back home for the first time of the season as they look to get their first win of the season. They're coming up against the Monmouth Scots team that's also looking to pick up their first win of the season, so it should be an interesting matchup. As always, I'm Spencer Davis, joined by Kareem Burnett. Kareem, it's been a fun season so far, but looking to have a little bit of fun here back at home.
Yes, it has, Spencer. And just this first game played, and now on to our second season opener, first home game of the season. I couldn't be more excited as a basketball and a Red Devils fan.
Last time you heard from us was on the road against Aurora. The Eureka Red Devils dropped in that one on the road. Again, a tough Aurora opponent, but some positives out of that game. It seems like we've got some contributors coming off of the bench.
Yes, I loved what I seen from sophomore forward Ben Carter in his first start of his basketball career, I believe. I could be wrong. But he shot 4 for 7 from the field and had 10 points. He hit 2 threes. He was aggressive on offense and defense. I loved what I seen from him, Spencer.
And a guy like Dylan Logsdon came off of the bench as well, provided a great spark defensively and offensively. Towards the guards, though, we saw a different kind of rotation. Noah Persich moving into more of a primary ball handler role, as well as Jalen Johnson, a transfer from Sauk Valley.
Yeah, I like those guys as our guards, but I think they need to be more aggressive offensively in terms of shooting the ball and trying to get their own shot. They're both great playmakers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we're going to need some more shot creation from those guys.
Yeah, and the standouts from last year, Cody Bear, Pee Wee Brown picking up right where they left off. Pee Wee Brown, 21 points as well as 5 rebounds. Cody Bear, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 of which on the offensive glass. Kareem, is that something that they're going to have to do in this game here?
Yes, Cody Bear and Pee Wee Brown, we know those are our 2 guys, but as we mentioned, we're going to need some more contributors. We know what Pee Wee Brown and we know what Cody Bear are going to give us. They're going to get their 15 to 20 a night. Cody Bear is going to get his double-double. We just need those other guys to come along with him.
On the other side, Monmouth coming into this one off of a loss as well. They dropped on the road against Eastern Illinois, again a Division I opponent, so not a horrible first loss to have of the year. But this is a game where it's hard to get kind of an idea of what you're looking at. Declan Flynn led the team in scoring with 10 points. David Williams followed with 9 points. He took the majority of the shots, though.
As always, on defense, because I'm a big defensive guy, I want to try to slow those scores down, make them uncomfortable. Last time out when we played Aurora, I feel we didn't do a great job at that, so I want to see more defensive ball pressure on those key guys.
Yeah, Kareem, who do you have your eye on Monmouth and Eureka to kind of make an impact in this one?
Well, more so for Eureka, I want to see more minutes from Dylan Logsdon. He played 18 minutes, which were a lot of minutes, but I feel like he can be that key guy, that key contributor off the bench. And as we mentioned, Jalen Johnson, and Noah Persich are 2 starting guards. I'm going to need them to be more aggressive. They were 1 for 8 from the field combined, and we both know they're better than that at scoring the basketball.
Yeah, Monmouth has to adjust their scoring. Potentially lost Kenneth Brassfield, their leading scorer in this matchup last year. He put up 24. So it will be something that you're going to have to keep an eye on. It could be a blend of an attack from both teams. Kareem, keys of the game really quick.
My keys of the game, as I mentioned, we're going to need some more shot creation outside of Pee Wee Brown. We're going to need our guards to get Cody Bear some easier looks. A lot of times he had to settle for the mid-range jumper or the pull-up jumper. I believe JJ and Noah Persich can get him some much easier looks down low.
That's all we have for you on the pregame show. On the other side, the national anthem and starting lineups. You're watching Eureka College basketball right here on ECTV.
My identity for myself, aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
St. Jude affects all corners of the world for good. I mean, if you think about organizations that affect an entire world, it's a short list. Taking care of kids is a priority. Taking care of the families as whole.
Without donations, without people that care for St. Jude and for the kids at St. Jude, our match wouldn't be here.
You are making a difference, not just in a hospital, but in an entire world.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
And we'll set it back down to Blake Baxter, who's got the starting lineups for both teams.
Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Fighting Scots. Junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 2, Jordan Hill. A senior from Loves Park, Illinois, number 12, David Williams. A sophomore from Moline, Illinois, number 15, Kyle Taylor. A junior from Monmouth, Illinois, number 22, Declan Flynn. And a fifth year from Coppell, Texas, number 32, Yuvraj Sidhu. The Fighting Scots are coached by head coach Todd Skifrit. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Eureka Red Devils. A sophomore from Morton, Illinois, number 4, Ben Carter. A senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 5, Noah Persich. A junior from Peoria, Illinois, number 10, Pee-wee Brown. A junior from Rock Falls, Illinois, number 11, Jalen Johnson. And a senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 24, Cody Bear. The Red Devils are coached by head coach Chip Wilde and assisted by Jessica Thorman, Jake Boyd, and managed by Zoe Wilde.
I gotta feed the streets.
And there are the starting lineups. The Red Devils starting lineups remaining unchanged, but first, before we go any further, we'd like to welcome Mr. Ed Hammond, a Bradley icon and the voice of the women's basketball team over there. Mr. Hammond, great to have you.
Thanks, Spencer. Kareem, good to be with you tonight. Interesting for me, all the years I've done broadcasting here, this is my first time being at a basketball game at Eureka College, so this is exciting for me too.
Well, we're super excited to have you with us, a seasoned vet. Hopefully you can show us the ropes a little bit. Eureka and Monmouth just about to commence. Sidhu and Bear to get us going. Jalen Johnson, the transfer point guard with the Red Devils in his first season, his second game in the uniform, and his first at home. Noah Persich, a little bobble.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the pregame, Spencer, I'm really looking for Jalen Johnson and Noah Persich to be aggressive offensively today.
Brown loses the handle on it for a moment. Back out Johnson trying to create his own shot to the corner. Brown, 3 on the shot clock. Baseline drive up and under and put right back up and in by Cody Bear.
It's a great baseline move by Pee Wee Brown. Just couldn't finish it right there.
And we talked about it on the road. Cody Bear's really at his best when he's cleaning up on the offensive glass.
Yes, he's very good at being a dirty work big, cleaning up all the little misses as we just seen on that previous play. That's the type of game you want to see from Cody Bear.
It's Sidhu in the pick and roll, and he ties things back up at 2.
I think Cody Bear was just a little too under the basket on that play to even try to block it.
Again, Jalen Johnson operating as the 1 in the offense for the Red Devils. Nice find underneath by Cody Bear. Noah Persic. Little up and under. Carter kept it alive for a moment. It's rebounded by Flynn.
That's what I like, though. I like seeing Noah try to get his own baskets.
Jordan Hill trying to drive on Persic. Rebounded by Cody Bear, his second already.
We're going to see a lot of rebounding from Cody.
Brown gets taken down by Taylor. Taylor tried to embellish a little bit and brought Brown with him.
They both just got tripped up on that play.
Red Devils in their first home game of the season. Again, 0-1 so far. Lost to Aurora on Wednesday.
It's nothing like the home season opener, Spencer.
Certainly. Crowd's excited. Students are out in force. The team wanted to put on a good show. This is Ben Carter picking up his dribble with Bear.
I thought we almost seen a rare 3 from Cody Bear there.
Nice find underneath. Johnson with a nice finish near the rim.
Great way to find Jalen Johnson cutting back door.
First points of Jalen Johnson's Red Devil career.
JJ, as they call him.
Not too difficult of a shot. The easiest one to make is right there, I would say. Taylor with it. Back to Sidhu. Trying to go to work on the SLIAC Player of the Year, Bear.
That's the second time Sidhu has tried to use that bigger frame on Cody Bear, but Cody stayed solid on that play.
And a nice jump ball drawn there by Sidhu. And Monmouth will get the ball back.
This is also something I want to see from Pee Wee Brown. We've seen him shoot 6 free throws last game. I want him to be more aggressive. He's always aggressive, don't get me wrong, but try to get to the free throw line more.
He shot 4 threes in their last game, didn't make any of them, but again, it's something that we can tell he's worked on a lot in the offseason. We'd be shocked not to see a couple put up, at least in the coming minutes. Again, Hill with it on the wing. Cody Bear making sure that pass does not get caught immediately. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
I think Sidhu on that first bucket on Cody, I think he thought the rest of them were going to be that easy. Not on the SLIAC Player of the Year.
Ball gets inbounded to Noah Persic. Quick 3-on-1 break. So Persic all the way to the cup and a good finish.
I love seeing that from Noah Persic, as I've been preaching the entire start of this game. Be aggressive, look for your own score, your own basket, and he just did on that play.
Good screen by Sidhu. That's Flynn pulling up. Good box out by Ben Carter. Johnson quick underneath with Bear. Little move there. Jump shot from the big man. No.
Little Kevin Durant-esque right there, wasn't it?
Taylor now thinking about a 3, drives instead. Back out. Flynn 3-pointer up from him. Too long. Brown with a rebound.
See if the Red Devils are going to try to set something up right here. See if we're going to deny the screen from Bear.
Persic and Johnson already combining for as many points as they had in their first game. Bear on the roll, and he's stuffed at the rim. Rare to see that. Persic now fires from 3, knocked in.
Hey, we talked about it. I'm going to keep saying it. I love when Noah Persic is aggressive and looking to score the basketball.
One of the best looking jump shots you can really find. Perfect rotation on his shots.
Yeah, Noah's entire game is just smooth and fundamental.
Hill, not so fundamental with that one. The Red Devils on a 9-2 run to start, and a timeout taken by Monmouth as the Red Devils in their first home game. 4 minutes in, leading right here on ECTV.
We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Eureka, Illinois. Spencer Davis, Kareem Burnett, and Ed Hammond with you. Ed, what are you thinking so far?
What I'm thinking so far is the aggressiveness on the board for Eureka College, especially Bear and Carter. They have almost all of the offensive rebounds so far in this game. Bear is a stud inside there so far in this game.
Jalen Johnson looking to keep the offensive momentum rolling. There's Carter in the high post, as just mentioned, right to the basket from him. Bucket is good. Ben Carter.
And one by Ben Carter, using that athletic frame to just finish through the defender. He's too strong on that play.
One of those guys that you know Coach Wilde was really looking for to make that jump coming into the season. Had a decent freshman year, but you know that he was really needing to take that big jump his sophomore season.
Yeah, it's been nice myself. I would go into the gym late at night, and I see Ben Carter in there just putting up shots, him and the coach or him by himself, and that's all starting to pay off here. As you said, off to a stellar start in his sophomore season.
Brendan McNally onto the floor for Monmouth, donning the number 33. Carter with a 10-point lead now for the Red Devils. And we saw this against Aurora. The Red Devils like to run a little bit of a press every once in a while.
Yeah, and they got them a lot of stops in the Aurora game. Let's see if they can repeat that here against Monmouth.
McNally, good dump-off pass. Carter read that well. Sid, who still has it.
I think he might have gotten away with being out of bounds.
Trying to go to work, dribbles off of his foot, and a tie-up. And that's a cheap foul on Cody Bear. Got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, I like to call those bailout fouls when you play defense and you just bail the opposing team out with a quick foul.
Red Devils leading by 10, about 5 minutes into the first half. Kyle Taylor to inbound. This time the pass does not go directly to a Red Devil defender.
Monmouth haven't scored since that first Sid-Hu post-up early in this game.
They're going to try him in the mid-range this time. That shot no good. Another rebound for Cody Bear.
So far, it seems like Sid-Hu is their entire offensive weapon right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen any scoring other than him so far, and you know that Flynn would like to get going as well as Williams. Carter looking to drive. Brown tried to bring that in with one hand.
It didn't end up in a good play right there, but I like seeing twice in this possession Ben Carter putting the ball on the floor and attempting to do something.
DeJesus into the game for the first time of the night. Ben Carter will get his first break. 3 points for the sophomore so far. Williams with it, Sid-Hu. Excuse me, this is Williams. This is Hill. Really working to get that post touch with Sid-Hu. Trying to go to work on DeJesus, just bullying his way underneath, and a rebound by Persic.
In these first two games so far, we've been seeing DeJesus try to step in and play a lot of that role that Logan Doherty played last year. And Cody Bear gets a quick 2 points.
Monmouth really trying to out-muscle Eureka so far. It has not gone their way. McNally, a little slick out there. A couple guys have fallen already, and there's Brown. Also getting caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
The Brown can't rack up those quick baby fouls like that.
You got to like that play from DeJesus a little while ago, too. All the fundamentals and blocking out. And the guy, for the Monmouth player, really had to work for what he was going to get, and DeJesus made him go into a miss.
Yeah, you can see him appeal for a foul call as well. I don't think he's going to get it that early in the game. Maybe later on, though.
Yeah, you mentioned, Spencer, Monmouth is trying to really, what do they say, baby our team, but we got some nice, strong players on this team.
Monmouth trying to find anything. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Forced shot from McNally and knocks it in.
Nice looking jumper right there.
Their first bucket since one of their first 2 possessions. Red Devils defense has been stout so far. Johnson in the pick and roll.
Yeah, we've seen this defense since first last game against Aurora. I'm glad that they're being more consistent with it this game against Monmouth.
12 on the shot clock. Brown looking to dance. Nice spin move. Just dribbles off of his knee there.
Right idea, wrong execution. It was a great move by Pee Wee, though. He just lost the ball.
So Dylan Logsdon will get ready to come in for the first time. Again, somebody to keep your eye on. He played a lot of JV last year. Didn't see him on varsity, but already making an impact early on into his sophomore year.
He was 3 for 4 against Aurora, 7 points. Really aggressive on both sides of the ball. I just love Dylan's game, man.
5 rebounds for Cody Bear already. Johnson, pitch back. Bear now from 3. Not good.
A rare Cody 3.
Yeah, Bear only attempted 5 threes in the entire season last year.
But he'd make 2 of them?
He did make 2 of them. Blocked by Bear. Point Bear outside quickly to Brown. Brown is erased by Brennan McNally. Brown's a little shaken up.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive play by McNally right there. Brown is definitely shaken up. It was a great block. I think he might have got away with just a little bit of contact.
Yeah, you can tell that Brown was trying to keep the ball out wide. We're seeing a lot of guards nowadays do to kind of force that contact from the shot defender.
Hopes everything all right with Brown.
Brown's still down with a 14-4 lead. We're going to step aside while the trainers take a look at him. Red Devil basketball right here on ECTV.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
Brown up and making his way under his own power to the bench. You see him kind of grimacing, holding that lower back. Took a hard fall on that layup attempt. We'll keep an eye on him, provide updates as we get them.
Yeah, that tailbone is always a sensitive area.
Dylan logs in with it. Now Noah Persich. Persich now, deep 3 up, no good. Rebounded by Cody Bear. He'll put up a shot really quick. Rebounded by Williams.
As you mentioned, Ed, Cody Bear is all over the glass.
All over the floor, yeah. And they offensive rebounds. Too bad they couldn't capitalize on that.
He'll scrap for another rebound. This time it ends up into the hands of Schimmel. Schimmel, no good. Rebound by DeJesus. Johnson in transition. Nice cut from Persich. Seems like a slick floor out there, Kareem.
Yeah.
15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Bear to go to work. Bear gets his man on his hip off the glass. Nice touch there off the glass.
I love seeing big men and players in general use the backboard.
It's a bit of a forgotten art.
It definitely is. One of my favorite players of all time, Tim Duncan, he made a career off of it.
Monmouth still looking for their 3rd field goal. They're shooting 15% from the field right now. Trying to get it going and draws a foul is Turner Plummer, and that's 2 on Cody Bear.
2 quick fouls by Cody. We're definitely going to need him later in this game.
That Bear 6.7 rebounds in 8.5 minutes of work.
And he's all over that glass.
It's Plummer first free throw attempts for the Scots tonight. Carter will come on for Bear.
That's one thing you can hang your hat on with Cody Bear. Even if his offensive game isn't going, you know he's going to be there defensively. You know he's going to be there on the rebounds.
Good turnout for the Red Devils in their first home game of the season. Looking to build off the momentum they had late in the year. They finished 3rd in the regular season, then dropped in a nail-biter against Fontbonne in the conference semifinals.
Yeah, the second half of the season for the Red Devils was just amazing.
Now they got hot at the right time. Picked off by Hill, poked out by Logsdon. A race for the ball. DeJesus the one to come up with it. Strong hands from Carter. 4-on-3 break. Good transition defense from the Scots.
Very good. I think Ben Carter should have gave the ball up to Noah Persis a little earlier.
DeJesus kicking back out. Johnson, good head fake. Now it's Logsdon. Good handle on it. Probably had a shot there. Wasn't looking for it yet. Persic now in the mid-range. No good.
Well, he definitely didn't know how open he was.
That's one of those moments. Sometimes you have the ball for too long on your pivot foot. And you just don't think to look at the basket.
Yep.
Monmouth working things around. Still been a struggle to find points. 3 different Scots with points tonight. And nobody has more than one made field goal. Or a mid-range shot knocked in by McNally. And of course, as I talk about how nobody's scored multiple baskets, we get a guy with multiple baskets.
Broadcaster jinx. It exists.
Monmouth has to think that they can keep up with Eureka a little bit now with Bear on the bench. They match up with him a little bit better. We'll see what they can do. That's 2-0 Monmouth with Bear on the bench right now.
Carter with the screen from DeJesus. Tight defense so far from the Fighting Scots. Tough shot by Carter. Scrap for it underneath. DeJesus going to be the come up with it. And off of somebody's leg. Let's stay with the Red Devils.
That was one of those little plays where nobody really knows what's going on and the ball just ends up out of bounds.
Declan Flynn back into the game for McNally. You'll notice that Jalen Johnson and Noah Persic are going to be hard-pressed to get any rest tonight. Mid-range shot from Persic.
Yeah, especially as Ed mentioned, with Cody Bear on the bench and Pee Wee Brown also on the bench, dealing with that little small injury he had. We're going to need them to step up.
Yeah, that was something we noticed in the Aurora game, is where is the scoring going to come from when Pee Wee Brown and Cody Bear are not on the floor?
Yes, and we mentioned that on air. The game was still within reach, but when Cody Bear and Pee Wee Brown went out to get some rest, the game kind of fell apart.
Long shot there, offensive rebound, Plummer. A lot of room for a Hill three-pointer up.
That didn't hit the rim, did it?
I'm not sure if it did or not. I'm sure Coach Wilde's going to appeal for it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell myself either.
Definitely an awkward angle. Yeah, I think it might have hit the backboard. I don't think it touched rim, though.
I think it floated over the rim. I was surprised that the shot clock said.
Sometimes you can get a little trigger happy there on the button.
Yeah.
The human element of it all.
One of those unsung roles of a basketball game is the clock operator. That's a tough job.
Very stressful job.
Nice move and able to score. Ryan Schimmel, first points of the night for him. Eureka's once 12-point lead now cut down to 6. Ben Carter trapped in the corner. Loses Logsdon on that pass. Here's Hill on the break. Johnson, the last guy back, and Hill will miss the layup. Drops the shoulder, the ball still loose. Little scrum for it, kick back out. Seduce swings Flynn up from 3. Way long. Gotta be a jump ball, and it is.
That entire possession was just very chaotic.
That's got to frustrate the Scots. There's 2 or 3 offensive rebounds they had there, and nothing to show for it, thanks to Eureka College, catching up on defense the rest of the play.
16-10 the scores, another timeout on the floor. Eureka leading in their first home game of the season, right here on ECTV.
Does school even do it?
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Foul trouble because he's always playing.
And welcome back to the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena. The home Eureka Red Devils leading 16-10. 8:40 left in the first half of basketball. I'm Spencer Davis, joined by Kareem Burnett and Ed Hammond. You might have heard Ed at some point calling a Bradley basketball game within the last 20 years. Pleasure to have him with us today.
This is fun.
Yeah. Division III basketball, a little bit different from D1?
A little bit. Hey, it's still basketball.
Absolutely. We've had a good one so far, but if you're just tuning in and you're a Red Devils fan, Pee Wee Brown went out with a back injury early on in the game, and Cody Bear is in foul trouble, and the Red Devils have not scored in the last 3 minutes.
I think Dylan Logsden is moving a little too fast. That's about the third time he's kind of missed the play because he's going before actually settling himself.
Jalen Johnson inbound, able to find Logsden off of one off glass. Loose ball ends up in the hands of Jordan Hill.
Need a score if you're Eureka right now.
Sidhu down in the post, trying to work on to Jesus. Has to kick to the corner. Hill trying to get baseline. Logsden will draw a charge. We saw that in the Aurora game.
He definitely did. That's one thing I love about Logsden game. He's not just a scorer. He can affect the basketball game in many different ways.
It's Kyle Taylor back onto the floor for the Fighting Scots. Not even seeing Pee Wee Brown on the bench anymore. It's not a fantastic sign to see. Something we'll try to keep an eye on. It's Jonah Loft, Dylan Logsden. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Red Devils in the midst of quite a long scoring drought. Loft now from 3. Rebounded by Taylor.
As Ed mentioned a few minutes ago, Eureka, we need a bucket at this point.
The bucket getter himself, Cody Bear, walking to the scores table. Kick to the corner. Monmouth on offense. Hill left short to Jesus rebounds.
But Eureka's defense and Monmouth unable to hit those mid-rangers. That's keeping the score where it is right now, and that's good for Eureka.
Yeah, one of the lower scoring games you're going to see. We've got a replay on that Hill jump shot. Or excuse me, that was the charge drawn. You can see him just gets there first and just lets the momentum pass through him.
Bear's coming back in.
Bear back in, and Blake Logsden, the twin brother of Dylan, both out of Meridian, Idaho, excuse me. One of those, how did you end up in the middle of Illinois? Their older brother Bryce was on the coaching staff of Aurora, and he also played his college hoops here at Eureka. A fun reunion to see on Wednesday night. The Red Devils looking for their first win here at home. Blake Logsden with it. Pass picked off by Flynn. Coast to coast, no good. Rebounded by Blake.
Yeah, the offense has been almost non-existent in these minutes without Brown.
The turnover there. The offense has been non-existent for either team in the last few minutes. Pee Wee Brown returning to the bench. Sidhu thought about a 3. Flynn up top. That rattles out. Bear with the rebound. It's one of those things that's pretty synonymous. Shot goes up, Bear comes down with a rebound.
How many times have we seen it in this game already?
8. 8 times to be specific. Dylan Logsden.
Y'all know Cody is a walking double-double.
Carter to the corner with Logsden, fires from 3. Spins out, Bear fighting for it into the hands of Williams. All the way to the bucket, coast to coast.
Strong move by Williams. He just took the entire team on by himself.
Bear's been open the last couple of possessions, so got to get it to him.
There's Loft, gets that floater, can't get that one to go down either. Now Monmouth looking to trim this down to perhaps a 2 or 1 point game. Logsden gets called for a blocking foul on that.
Yeah, I don't think his feet were set.
It's also one of those tough plays. If the guy's hitting you on the shoulder instead of your chest, it always is going to get called as a blocking foul typically.
Yeah, charges and blocking fouls are the most tricky calls to call. But as Ed just mentioned, Cody Bear not really touching the ball. That's one thing we touched on in pregame, him getting easier, more open looks. And that's something we haven't really seen in this ball game yet.
It's Jordan Hill at the free throw line. Still scoreless in this one. He's got 3 rebounds and an assist. So Micah Brewer and Noah Persich onto the court for Carter and Dylan Logsden.
It's been almost 6 minutes at least since Eureka scored, because it was 16-6 when Bear went off the bench. And I don't know how long it was before that Eureka had the last basket before that, or last points.
Yeah, you'd like to see the Red Devils try to get back to the basket, even if it's just some free throws to kind of get that cement off the lid.
It's definitely been rough these last 5 or 6 minutes for the Red Devils. As both of you guys have just mentioned, we need a bucket at this point for the momentum.
It's Jaden Ellison onto the court. If that sounds familiar. It's Austin Ellison's younger brother. Played his college basketball here at Eureka. Just graduated after last year's season. Ellison basketball legacy still alive, just in the wrong uniform if you're a Red Devil fan. Into the corner with Brewer. Bear now post touch. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Buries the shoulder. Jump hook is good.
Nice move. Bear wasn't going to be denied on that one.
As you mentioned, Ed, they definitely needed to go to Bear, and he delivered.
We talked about getting easier looks. I don't know if that's necessarily an easy look, but just getting the ball through the hoop is big. Sadu, nice footwork underneath.
I think Cody being in foul trouble, he didn't really want to 100% commit to trying to block the ball right there.
It would be interesting to see if DeJesus and foul away from the basket goes on Flynn.
I just noticed Logsdon and Ellison, both brothers of former Eureka College alumni, and the number 3 here. This is definitely a legacy game right now.
Jonah Loft coming off, as well as Micah Brewer. Short stint on the floor for the freshman. 18-15, Red Devils holding on to a lead. Only one made field goal. We're going to guess the last 8 minutes. They just scored on their last possession. We'll see what they can do here. Pee Wee Brown also back onto the court. Persich, good move back out to Jesus. Eureka going side to side, 6 on the shot clock. Bear putting the ball on the ground all the way to the basket himself, and he's fouled. A bit of a late foul call, but I do think it was warranted.
Extremely late. I was waiting for the whistle.
Bear checking his forehead.
He might have got hit in the face right there.
Not something we see a lot out of Cody Bear is the drive from the three-point line.
Yeah, maybe that's something he's been trying to add to his game, you know, attacking the ball instead of just being down low with post hooks or little easy dunks.
And he tried a three-pointer earlier, too.
Yeah, he's adding all sorts of parts to his game.
Cody Bear trying to add that guard play.
Bear came into this season after an 80% campaign from the free throw line in 2022 and 23. And part of the reason why he won SLAC Player of the Year. Got to be careful there out on the perimeter. It's McNally trying to get, and he misses the dunk. Grabbing at his face, and they say the ball went out of bounds.
And McNally's a brave man to try to challenge Cody Bear like that on a dunk attempt.
I don't know if McNally really got smacked in the face on that. Seems like he recovered pretty quickly from a hit to the face.
Bear's looking at his right hand a little bit after that play.
Yeah, maybe one of those where he gets kind of pinched up on the backboard of the rim.
Like you pinched a nerve.
Yeah. I remember always seeing guys trying to snap the net back in high school, and you'd always see guys coming with cuts on their fingers from it. They're going to get Cody Bear out of the game. I don't think it's going to be due to the injury, but more so to prevent him from picking up a third foul. They are going to check his hand out a little bit, though.
Yeah, let's see what the Red Devils can do with some more minutes without Cody Bear. We've seen earlier it wasn't that pleasant with no Cody Bear or no Pee Wee Brown on the floor, but we do have Pee Wee Brown in the game right now.
Really low scoring affair for any level of basketball, I would say, through almost over 15 minutes of play so far, 19-15.
And nobody's even cracked 20 yet.
There must be a cut on Bear because I think they're wiping up some blood under the basket. Bear's getting some, he's got a couple of fingers bandaged and they're still looking at him over there. So he did cut his hand a little bit.
Not what you want to see, having your big man have any sort of tape on his fingers this early in the season. You see guys walking around with jammed fingers later on, but if you're already starting with a cut in the second game of the year, that's going to be hard to heal up.
Yeah, I would like to see that play again to get a second view and actually see what happened on the block attempt.
Yeah, do you think it was more of a block? Did he get ball, or do you think he just missed the dunk?
I have no idea.
Might have been a little bit of both.
Yeah.
19-15 so far in Eureka, Illinois. The Fighting Scots coming to this one also looking for their first win of the season. Second games for both students. Second trying to offer some help. Feels like a game of hot or cold with Coach Ryan Woodside searching for the spot.
Yeah, everybody looking on the floor for blood.
Yeah, he must have really gotten cut, or there's a couple of guys cut.
Well, and he had some on his uniform too, so they have to clean that off.
It's all hands on deck trying to find anything.
Team effort.
It's got to be different.
He walked around a little bit from under the basket out to near center, over to the left wing here as we're looking at it. So he got a few steps in.
Yeah. It's got to be difficult, too, with the maroon color already on the floor. Trying to find what's not supposed to be there is a bit difficult. They've got both soccer coaches walking around looking for spots.
Probably one of the weirder jobs they've ever done as coaches.
I don't think this was in the job description.
Especially as soccer coaches.
I think there's something strange that happens anytime we're here at the Christine Minotti Bullwinkle Arena. That's the fun part about Eureka basketball is you never know what you're going to see when you walk into the gym. You might see a 19-15 game with 5 minutes left in the first.
Gotta love it.
But again, that's all Eureka's defense. Because Monmouth had plenty of chances to come back and take a lead in this game, and Eureka's held them off.
Yeah, offensively, what do the Red Devils need to do? Is it a lack of good shots that they're taking, or is it just a lack of getting shots up at all?
Well, they're able to get the shots underway. It's just hitting them. I mean, we've seen, other than Bears' three-pointer, we saw a couple of 2 or 3 mid-rangers over here that didn't go, and Monmouth was able to get the rebound off of it. But the woes that they're having offensively is not hurting them defensively because Monmouth is going from either missing a shot or having to take bad shots because of Eureka's defense.
Yeah, Eureka's perimeter defense has been excellent. I think we can't commend Sam DeJesus down low. He's come off the bench again. Bear and foul trouble are a little banged up right now. He's done a great job off the bench.
Yeah, but him and Ben Carter, both in this kind of small ballish lineup, have been doing a good job of keeping their big man out of the hole. And as Ed mentioned, our offense being stagnant has kind of overshadowed how good our defense has been.
Bear's going to check back in.
Be good to get him back out there for the time being, like Kareem was saying. Small ball lineup for the Red Devils. Jalen Johnson with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Screen from DeJesus. Trying to get around Ellison. Nice jump stop. Floater no good.
I believe that's only Jalen Johnson's second shot attempt the entire game.
Yeah, he made his first. It was just a layup.
Yeah, to finish. He worked himself into a good shot and couldn't finish it.
Back outside of the corner, Ellison. Brown almost picks that off. Back out, McNally from 3. Knocked in. We've got ourselves a 1-point ball game.
McNally was extremely comfortable when he shot that jump shot.
Yeah, talk about really, this is a game up for the taking. It's been a really defensive game so far, but it feels like any sort of offensive momentum could kind of break this one open.
Yeah, any type of 6-0, 8-0 run can really lead to the other team taking all of the momentum.
It's Brown trying to get baseline. Tough shot from Brown. Carter trying to scrap at it from Sadu.
Pee Wee Brown still holding that back there. I think he's still shaking up from that fall earlier.
It's good to see him out there again, though.
We'll definitely keep an eye on him. Again, holding that lower back. He went up for a layup attempt earlier. McNally driving over Carter. Can't finish. DeJesus with the one hand. And that'll do things.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a new one. I could have sworn it was 4.5 minutes ago. Just a couple minutes ago.
It was at least 2 minutes left.
The last three-pointer that
McNally.
Yeah. They put it up on Monmouth's side before on the scoreboard, so they've been trying to correct the scoreboard. So now they have the score right, but then they put the clock down to 0. I was going to say that was a quick 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the fun part about basketball. It gets really high pace. You kind of lose track of time, and sometimes I guess the clock operator also loses track of time. They're going to throw 2 minutes and 52 seconds back up. Yeah. So far in this game, it's been ugly shooting. 24% from the field for Monmouth and 32% for the Red Devils. And the Red Devils started this game shooting, I think, close to 50%.
Yeah, neither team has made 10 field goals yet. They both only made 1 3. Monmouth just got on the board with a 3 with that McNally 3. It's been a very slow-paced, defensive-minded game, and I'm all for that. I love defense, one of my favorite parts of basketball, but I would like to see some buckets be made.
Another stat to keep an eye on, the Red Devils with 7 turnovers so far in this first half compared to Monmouth's 3.
I believe we had 7 or 8 turnovers the first half against Aurora. Something we're definitely going to have to clean up as the season goes along.
Cody Barrett, top of the key. It's Brown. 15 seconds on the shot clock for the Red Devils. Persich with Jalen Johnson. A look from Brown in the mid-range. Not quite, still looking to get any sort of momentum. You can tell Brown's really not feeling well running up the court. Ellison from 3 knocked in. And Monmouth with their first lead of the game after the three-pointer.
Yeah, as you can tell, you just mentioned Spencer. Pee Wee Brown is definitely still shaking up. We watched this guy entire college basketball career. We know he's a tough player. He's going to attempt to play through it.
Brown with it at the moment, driving, Euro step off of contact. And that's an awkward type of shot to take with a sore back. Able to draw the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's going to play through it.
Now you can tell that's really bothering him the way he's gripping at it.
Yeah, that lower back and that tailbone area, always super sensitive, especially when you fall on it or someone makes hard contact. It can bother you the rest of the day.
And the worst thing about it is, you know, kind of like your belly button, as you're taught as a defender, your back is also going with you wherever you go.
Yep.
Not something that you can really favor in any way. There's not much you can do to kind of like, you can't wrap up your back too much.
Yeah, he was in the air. He really couldn't protect himself or protect his back at all.
Able to knock down both free throws. Again, that's something that we've seen a huge evolution from his freshman season at Lincoln. Pee Wee Brown's really become a very good threat from the free throw line.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him attack more and get to that free throw line and take advantage of that.
Sidhu, nice play there. Able to put it over Barrett. Another one of those plays where you can tell Cody Barrett with 2 fouls can't do much with his defensive abilities.
Yeah, that's one of the bad things about being in foul trouble. As the lead shot blocker on this team, you can't really use your skills to your advantage.
Persich to Carter. Now with Brown. Brown from 3. Too long on that attempt. And now Monmouth with a chance to perhaps take a 2-possession lead.
I believe we started this game off 14-2. Now Monmouth, I'm sorry, I can't talk, has a 2-point lead.
Make it 4 after the McNally lay-in. 9 points for Brendan McNally.
Yeah, that was just 0 defenders right there.
McNally in their last game had 7, and he's already past that.
You see Jalen Johnson get another bucket there. He's up to 4 on the night.
And I've had a chance to talk to one of his former teammates at Sauk Valley, and he says that, you know, Jalen's still trying to find his kind of way here. He says he's a good shot creator. He's a guy that can get to the rim really well. Sidhu doing his best to get to the rim, can't finish. Rebound and put back in by Gannon Greenman.
Yeah, I feel like as a point guard, that's extremely hard coming into a new system, a new school, not trying to step on anyone's toes or be a detriment to the team. But man, if you're a bucket, you got to be a bucket.
4-point lead from Monmouth. Shot clock and game clock separated by 7 seconds. Pee Wee Brown with it. Going to the corner for Persich. 3-pointer up from the senior. Knocked in. A 1-point ball game. Monmouth likely with the last shot.
You never know if Persich is scoring and hitting threes. It's a good day.
Williams driving to the basket all the way to the cup and finishes.
It's been back-to-back plays where it's been almost 0 rim contested.
29-26 our score here at halftime. Guys, so far, again, it's been a defensive battle.
Very defensive on both ends. Both teams have been showing good defensive sides of the ball. The offense for both teams, as you mentioned, Spencer, hasn't been great, but this has been a very defensive-minded and oriented basketball game.
But Monmouth has taken a little bit of momentum here, outscoring Eureka 23-10 the last 11 and a half minutes of the first half.
Eureka trailing by 3. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to talk more shop with Ed Hammond. Pleasure to have him with us today right here on ECTV.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
St. Jude affects all corners of the world for good. I mean, if you think about organizations that affect an entire world, it's a short list. Taking care of kids as a priority, taking care of the families as whole.
Without donations, without people that care for St. Jude and for the kids in St. Jude, our match wouldn't be here.
You are making a difference, not just in the hospital, but in the entire world.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
And welcome back to the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena. I'm Spencer Davis, joined to my left, Ed Hammond in the middle, Kareem Burnett on my further left. Guys, it's good to be here.
It's great to be here. Season home opener, always good Red Devil basketball.
And Ed, it's great to have you here, seasoned pro in broadcast. I'm really excited to, it's not every day we get to call a game with a professional.
Well, I don't know about that. But this is exciting basketball. Eureka had that early lead 16-6. But Monmouth has been able to get back in there. The one thing that we mentioned earlier was 7 turnovers for Eureka, but the big stat out of that is Monmouth hadn't taken advantage of that. There's no points off turnovers for Monmouth in that. So that's a big factor in this game. But Bear had the 2 fouls. You can see he had to hold back a little bit in the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes when he was out there at the end of the first half. Now he can come out there reckless abandon again like it was at the first start of the game and might be able to turn this back around for the Red Devils.
Yeah, Kareem, offensively, we talked about there hasn't been a lot of bench usage so far for the Red Devils.
Yeah, me and Ed were just discussing right before we got on the broadcast. Our bench has 0 points. Dylan Logsdon, usually last game he was a big part of our bench production. He hasn't scored this game off the bench. He's only played about 3 minutes, so we definitely gonna need some bench play. Pee Wee Brown dealing with that back thing, and then Cody Bear, he picked up those 2 quick fouls. We need someone else to step up. I mentioned earlier I wanted Noah Persis to be aggressive. He's done that. He's taken 7 shots earlier into this game, but we're going to need him to be a little more aggressive and get some bench play.
And moving away, go ahead.
And get DeJesus back into it too.
Yeah.
He's made some aggressive plays, some offensive rebounds, defensive play. Doesn't have a lot of points to show for it. If you can get him going and on the scoreboard, that's going to be a lot.
And moving away from Eureka basketball, just to kind of talk about your career so far, Ed. I know that this isn't why you're here, but just tell me about this. You've been doing not Eureka College, apologies, Bradley basketball for over 20 years. What's that been like?
Bradley women's basketball, just my 22nd year, and it's just a lot of fun, and get to travel with the team and get to meet a lot of great people, and that's what it's all about, is the people that you meet and you work with along the way. And I've had the pleasure of working with some great coaches and some great people in the last 20-some years.
Do you have a specific memory with Bradley basketball that you can really point to as one of your favorites?
I think there's a 1 and a 1A.
Okay.
One would be the championship for the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, and it was the COVID season too, where nobody could be at the game, and so the Bradley won its first postseason tournament championship and went to its first NCAA bid, and so that's my 1A was broadcasting Bradley against Texas in the NCAA tournament after that championship win.
Yeah, so also I got to call a couple games, not to the scale that you have during COVID. How have you enjoyed the switch back to having fans in the auditorium and all that?
Oh, absolutely. That 1 year it was like no fans could be in attendance. I had to wear a mask during the games. There was one time we went to Valparaiso, and at the table for Valparaiso, when you first walked in, you had to take your own temperature and do this other stuff, and it's like the first time I tried to take my temperature on there, it's like I should have been dead. It was like it was way up high or it was way down low, and it was like 4 or 5 times trying to go through it to get a little sticker on my jacket that nobody even looked for when I walked in. So to do that kind of stuff, and I went to our opening game, I think was at Wright State, and so you couldn't be down on courtside like you're used to sitting. So I was way up on the top, like very top row in the corner. And Wright State, even at home, wore gray uniforms with real light yellow numbers. I was done. So, yeah, I definitely like it back to where the fans can be there and everybody can be up close.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, calling basketball has always been a passion of both of ours for sure, and it's really, it's super cool to be sitting next to somebody that really knows it well.
Well, I don't know about knows it well. I get by good enough. But you guys are doing great, and I like the rapport that you guys have. It's exciting.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
As you mentioned, Spencer, it's just been good to just be around someone who's been around doing what we want to do for so long. And I've already been taking mental notes. I noticed throughout the game and jotting down small little notes as he goes along. And I'm like, dang, I should implement that into my game, and I should try to do that myself.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, watching basketball whenever you were a kid, you're trying to like, oh man, that's a cool crossover move. It's just like that, You're like our LeBron.
And listen, after doing this 20 years, it's like, oh wow, that's a great move too, and writing that down. And every player has their own personality, their own style to the game. And that's what makes it interesting too, and it's just and you guys know it. It's just a lot of fun, and hey, it gets you in free all the time.
I think that's my favorite part. Watching free basketball is a lot of fun.
And a free meal in the press room. There you go.
We really appreciate you coming on. We're going to have more second half action coming up right after this. Again, Red Devils trailing by 3 right here at home.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true, to help them fight a critical illness. Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
St. Jude affects all corners of the world for good. I mean, if you think about organizations that affect an entire world, it's a short list. Taking care of kids as a priority, taking care of the families as whole.
Without donations, without people that care for St. Jude and for the kids at St. Jude, our match wouldn't be here.
You are making a difference, not just in a hospital, but in an entire world.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Yeah, he had all the jitters done first.
And welcome back to Eureka, Illinois. Just closing up the halftime festivities, 29-26, Monmouth College leading on the road. I'm Spencer Davis, joined by Kareem Burnett and the Bradley Icon, Ed Hammond. Guys, good to have you back.
Nice to be back.
It's a short break in terms of hearing our voices, but again, more basketball on the way. So far, guys, first half reflections, what did we see out there?
Well, as we mentioned, the turnovers were up to 7 on a team. We got to take better care of the ball. But really, the elephant in the room, our offense. It's kind of been stagnant when Pee Wee Brown isn't looking to create a shot or we're not getting a Cody Bear dump-off pass. We really haven't been doing anything offensively, so we just need to pick it up altogether as an offense.
We were singing the praises of the offense in the first half of the first half. And then after that, but as we mentioned during the stats during the halftime, 18 points off the bench for Monmouth and nothing for Eureka. So Eureka's going to have to find some points somewhere to get back into the lead and sustain in this game.
Yeah, clearly Eureka did their homework on the starting lineup for Monmouth. Just maybe forgot about some guys coming off the bench. Again, Brendan McNally, the standout for Monmouth off of the bench. 9 points in that first half. Cody Bear leading the way as expected almost. At this point, the Red Devils, 9 points, 8 rebounds for him so far. Noah Persich with 8. Keep an eye on him. Him and Jalen Johnson combining for 12 points after a game against Aurora, which they only combined for 4. So, Kareem, we talked about this. That was something we really wanted to see today.
And so far, although they've been smallly doing, I'm sorry, y'all. They've been doing that, one step at a time, but they are being more aggressive, especially Noah. He's up to 7 shots. Jalen Johnson, 2 for 3 from the field. With Pee Wee dealing with the back thing right now, I'm going to look for those guys to be, the go-to guys in the second half offensively.
And ball control, because of those 7 turnovers Eureka had, 5 of them were Monmouth steals. So you got to hold on to the ball.
Monmouth will be the ones to start with the ball, donning their road reds. It's Sadu passing to Hill. He swings out. Taylor could not bring it in. Flynn keeping it in bounds. Sadu immediately going to work on Bear. Bear with 2 fouls in that first half. Limited his playing time. Blocks Sadu on that one. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Quick fire 3 up. And Jalen Johnson coming down with it.
That's Cody Bear's second block on Sadu. It's his second block in total in the game.
Doing his best there at the rim with 2 fouls.
I'm sorry, Sid, who I said Sadu. I'm sorry about that.
I don't see bandages on Bear's hand either. Now that the second half has started.
He might have been able to clean it up then at that halftime. Brown gets called for a moving screen there. Kareem, what kind of describe the intricacies of setting a screen? I know that it's kind of a something you take for granted, but there's a lot that goes into that.
Yes, it is. I've always had a hard time setting screens, like getting myself in the right position and staying strong as I set the screen. Like you mentioned, setting the screen is one of those underrated hard things to do in basketball.
Bear pulling down his 9th rebound of the night. It's already empty trips for both teams so far. The defensive intensity still there from the first half. Carter to Brown. Again, nursing a back injury, picked up in the first half. Johnson, 10 on the shot clock. Carter. 5 seconds. Cody Bear on the perimeter, not exactly where he wants to be. He's going to look up at the clock, fires away from way out, and does not hit rim. They're just going to let play continue.
2 Cody Bear's threes we've seen in this game.
Taylor somehow doesn't rattle that one in. Brown will control it for the Red Devils.
Pee Wee Brown 0 for 5 in this game so far.
A little too strong on that one. Perhaps the back loosened up a little bit now. We saw it look kind of tight. Hill throwing back into the middle of the floor off of Johnson's knee.
I think that was a missed steal opportunity right there.
They're one of those you weren't exactly looking for. I think it took another deflection before it hit Johnson.
Yep.
Monmouth trying to capitalize on the missed opportunity. Sadu trying to get underneath the basket. That up and under, no good. And the 10th rebound for Cody Bear. Missed out on his double-double last game. Only 9 rebounds. I say only as if 9 is not impressive enough.
And we've seen this guy get up to 20 rebounds.
And 2 shots incoming for Cody Bear. So far, no score to the first 2.5 minutes of play in the second half. Again, is this really good defense or some missed opportunities?
It's a little bit of both, actually, especially here in this second half.
Yeah, both teams have been doing good defensively, but as Ed just mentioned, some have just been some easy looks or some hard forced looks. Like as we've seen before, Pee Wee Brown shot that little fadeaway mid-range. I don't think he needed to take that. I think he could have got something else, maybe tried to get to the basket, get to the line.
Bear 3 for 4 from the free throw line now tonight. 11 points, 10 rebounds. Likely looking for a big beef game at this point. 20 points, 20 boards likely in his sights. Red Devils back within 1. The first points of the half were on that play. Johnson stepped up, going no call. And able to get out of the way as Johnson. Bear with the rebound.
If I'm not wrong, did Williams catch his own rebound? Excuse me, Johnson? His own air ball?
I'm not sure. Didn't get a great look on a lot of people down there all at once. Carter now down low. Nice move from Ben Carter.
That was a great move. Got the bench riled up.
He's been one of those guys we talked about. Red Devils got to find some scoring outside of Bear and Brown. Ben Carter might be that third option.
You can just tell he's worked on his game over the summer.
Way outside, knocked in. David Williams. With 7 points, 6 boards. First 3-pointer he's attempted tonight.
First take, first make.
After their last game against EIU, he shot 8 3-pointers. Perhaps they asked him to shoot a little less. Bear still with it, knocked out of his hands by Plummer. Carter will tie up. Oh, and they call a foul on Carter. Looked like he had ball first, and then it kind of twisted around with Plummer, but
yeah, I was going to say maybe they seen because he kind of wrapped him from behind. Maybe they're going to call it a foul because of that.
One defensive switch Monmouth has done is put Turner Plummer, number 35, on Bear, because he came off the bench in the first half, and he's starting the second half.
Yeah, perhaps trying to give Cody Bear a different look. Again, Plummer listed at 6'5", one of the taller guys on Monmouth's roster. Again, Cody Bear still with a 5-inch height advantage. Nice dish there by Taylor. Shot over Bear, and Bear will collect that rebound.
As we spoke on, Cody Bear in foul trouble early in the first half, not really feeling the effects of that. In the second half, he's able to be way more aggressive on the defensive end.
Carter trying to spin. Nice move from Ben Carter. Ben Carter starting to fill it up. Give him 7 on the night.
Ben Carter looks like a total different player compared to last season.
He just looks like a completely different player from that first half. Good drive there from McNally. I don't know if Bear blocked that or not. It was tipped. Tie game. Eureka trying to take the lead back. Persich in the mid-range. Not good.
It was a nice little fake and a nice little crossover there by Noah Persich.
That's one of the spots you love to see Noah Persich at. He's got a killer mid-range J.
He loves his mid-range.
Tie ball game. 15-16 left in the second half. Taylor trying to drive, dribbling all the way around.
I love when guards do that, just dribble around the basket.
Well, that was my signature, is I would dribble all the way under the basket. My coach would get mad at me for not shooting or passing. Brown, good defense, gets a steal. Here's Johnson and Brown on the break. Brown, little collision. Now back on the break, 4-on-3. Hill all the way to the basket, could not complete the fast break. Sloppy basketball. Persich, corner 3, no good, off the shot clock and out of bounds.
It was a great look.
Dylan logs into the game for the first time in the second half. So Jason Huber getting his first minutes of the night for Monmouth.
Glad to see Dylan logging some more minutes in this second half. Last game out, he gave us some great minutes, 18 minutes in total. I want to see what he can produce in this second half of this ball game.
And DeJesus back on the floor too, so get some bench points here for Eureka College.
Yes. Cody Bear off of the floor, only with 2 fouls. Like I say, only, we're starting to get away from the danger zone with 2 fouls. 14.5 minutes to go. Can start to breathe a little bit easier.
Yeah, you see that with him looking to get more block attempts on the night.
Johnson collects a rebound. Eureka looks to push. Jalen Johnson on the ball. Kicks to the corner, logs in deep, 2 up, knocked in.
First bench points.
We've been waiting on that all night.
Dylan logs in.
Took almost 26 minutes.
Yeah, and that's about as far back for a 2-point attempt as you can get. Made it really difficult. Nice pass there underneath by Taylor. Plummer can't finish, logs in, rebound.
I think they say better late than never.
That was trying too hard there.
Yeah, he seen a smaller guy on him. He just really tried to finish it.
Little dance move from Persich on the perimeter. Logs in the corner once again. McNally guarding him. Like Logsdon took a shot to the face. Just out of reach. DeJesus swings. Brown keeping it moving. Johnson fires from 3. Not good. That did not touch the rim.
Yeah. That's what the stoppage is for. They didn't touch the rim and the shot clock reset.
Good defensive possession for Monmouth.
Yeah, we've been having some shot clock problems all night, it seems like. Don't know if I'm not going to say it's the personnel. Maybe we could be dealing with some technical difficulties with the shot clock.
Might just be one of those human errors. Like you said, human element over there.
Well, it's like the last one in the first half. It's like, you can't tell whether it actually went and skimmed off the rim or not. So we were questioning that one, whether it went off the rim. That was almost the same kind of shot.
Yeah.
Eureka ends up with the basketball.
6 seconds on the shot clock.
Perhaps just a premature alert. Unsure. Either way, Persich now deep 3 up. That one does not touch rim either. I don't know how DeJesus didn't get fouled on that. Coach Wilde is livid on the sideline.
This is going to be a shot clock violation now. Because that was another one that didn't hit the rim either, and it reset. But with the second offensive rebound, and that, it's a shot clock violation after that.
Yeah, I thought DeWeese got it up in time to hit the rim, so the shot clock would reset, but apparently he didn't.
Now it looked like DeJesus got fouled on that attempt too. I think that was what Coach Wilde was appealing for.
Yeah, I'm sorry, DeJesus.
So a 2-point lead for the Red Devils. Deep 3 up from Taylor, knocked in. Little glance back at the student section. Never a great idea to poke the bear. Red Devils notorious for getting into guys' heads. We saw it against Blackburn last year, as well as Fontbonne.
Monmouth has really been working this three in the second half. I think they're up to 3 threes or 2 threes made in the second half already.
Monmouth starting to switch a lot defensively. Logs in the corner, 8 seconds. Still inbounds, loses the handle on it. Monmouth on the break. Euro step, good move from Williams.
That was a great Euro step in traffic.
This is one of those moments, no Cody Bear out there. Who are the Red Devils looking for offensively? Pee Wee Brown only with 2 points tonight, and a foul committed by Huber.
Yeah, Pee Wee Brown still yet to get a field goal made in this ball game. He's only taken 6 shot attempts in this whole game. There he is holding that back again. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's definitely still a little shaken up from that fall he had early in the first half.
Well, he went down over here, about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and he was a little slow getting up, favoring that back. So it's still bothering him.
Yeah,
Monmouth has picked up the defense here a little bit in the second half. They've come out with a little more vim and vigor.
Yeah, they've definitely been more aggressive, trying to apply more pressure. Their defense was good to okay in the first half, but as you mentioned, Ed, it's been kind of great in the second half.
Yeah, throughout the game, the Red Devils' field goal percentage has slowly dropped. Again, it was at a 50% peak early on. It's now sitting at 34%. Monmouth not shooting much worse at 29. It's been a rough game shooting for both teams.
Extremely rough.
Double team on Johnson. He'll still get the ball.
Monmouth, like they've thrown some kind of, I'm not going to say press, but the guard is definitely kind of picking up 94 feet.
Yeah, you can tell how far out they are. Really trying to make the guards uncomfortable for the Red Devils. Nice spin move by Persich off one leg. Can't get that to go down. Logs and punching it loose. And thought he got held on that.
A little short by Persich on that fadeaway mid-range.
12 minutes to go in the second half. 3-point lead for the visiting Scots. 3-pointer up from Plummer. Too strong. Rebounded by Persich.
You can tell Noah's definitely looked to score in this ball game. This game, he didn't take a lot of shots last game.
Nice dish off there. Brown getting the layup.
Pee Wee Brown finally getting on the board with his first made field goal all game.
I like the no call on that play. It looked like there was some contact, but I don't think that was enough to warrant a block or a charge.
I agree with you, Spencer.
And shot clock error there. Blake logs in onto the floor. Cody Bear back on. Persich and Johnson getting breaks. Neither team has shot double-digit free throws yet. Only 7 attempts for the Red Devils and 4 for Monmouth.
We've seen a few minutes earlier by Loft. I was seeing him on the bench. I thought he was getting ready to come in. I wonder if we're going to see Coach go to him more in this second half.
It'll be interesting to see if we get any Micah Brewer again. He played some decent minutes against Aurora. He hit a 3, played good defense as well, but maybe just isn't the matchup guy against this Monmouth team.
Yeah.
Williams inbounding to Taylor. Brown now the one to apply some pressure way out near half court. Huber. 17 on the shot clock. Taylor fires and knocks in a 3.
Monmouth up to 5 made threes on the night. I believe 4 in this half. They've definitely turned up the gas as far as shooting and making threes.
That's Taylor's 3rd 3 of the night. Logs in the corner. This is Blake logs in down low. Plummer knocking it out of bounds.
A little traveling music going on down there, wasn't there? Nobody heard it though.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the travel. Mr. Ed, I want to ask y'all, what have y'all seen differently from Monmouth in this second half as far as offensively?
Offensively, I mean, they're still missing some shots. I mean, they only have a 4-point lead. They've had themselves some open shots, but they're missing them. I'm more impressed with their defensive intensity here in the second half.
DeJesus put up that shot. They call, it looks like they're going to give it to McNally. DeJesus will go to the free throw line. We're going to get his first points of the campaign. 10:49 remaining in the second half. 4-point lead for Monmouth. Things starting to get a little chippy down there, noticing.
Yeah, I've been noticing it. That's been a little back and forth, some words exchanged between players. Nothing wrong with that in a good competitive game.
split trip, 3-point lead for Monmouth. Pee Wee Brown applying pressure from the free throw line at his own end. Taylor.
Pee Wee trying to lock in defensively.
Nice pass, could not be brought in by Plummer.
Great defense by Brown and DeJesus.
Warning there from Sam DeJesus.
Yeah, he just mentioned Spencer getting a little chippy, some talking.
It did look like DeJesus kind of dragged the leg and hit a little knee into the upper thigh. No technical given, just a little warning.
You know, whatever to try to get your team that extra edge, get involved.
Just trying to provide a little Charlie horse, something that you'll remember. Wasn't anything too malicious, but definitely something that probably deserved a little.
Remember your Eureka?
Yeah, right. Both Logsdon twins out there. Dylan Logsdon wearing number 1, Blake Logsdon number 3. Cody Bear out of reach. On the drive, trying to lay it up. Logsdon gets called for the foul, and a technical foul given to Dylan Logsdon.
That was a great defensive play there by Logsdon. Hey, that's one of the things I love about his game, his defensive effort that he gives to go after that block. Added a little too much on it and got the tech there, but I still love the block.
I thought he had the block for a minute.
I did as well. You know, I believe it was yesterday, the day before, we saw Giannis Antetokounmpo ejected for staring somebody down. That was the second technical of the night. I know that's kind of a subject of debate right now, is how far is too far in terms of a stare down? Is that even warranting a technical?
Yeah, I don't believe a stare down is warranted a technical. I mean, it's basketball. You, especially a guy like Giannis, you play with your emotions. That gets some guys ramped up. I think after dunking on a guy, or blocking a guy, or whatever, I think you should be allowed to, you know, stare him down, show a little emotion. Like you said, don't take it too far. Not anything physical, touching the guy or anything. But there's nothing wrong with a little stare down or a little pointing. It's part of basketball, in my opinion.
So that was a dead ball technical, so they'll take those free throws first. Monmouth with a 3-point lead at the moment. It's Taylor taking them. Kareem, do you want to say it?
Ball don't lie.
Also, one of those guys that is an excellent 3-point shooter and missing a free throw on that trip. Obviously frustrated with himself. You know, guys don't like missing at the line.
Yeah.
Especially when you're standing there all by yourself because it's a technical.
Yeah, do you think that gets a little bit more nerve-wracking when nobody's around you? You know everyone's looking directly at you?
Yeah, I would agree, because those are even freer than free throws.
It's kind of like having to tie your shoe mid-game. I don't remember who it was last year, but they had to tie their shoe, and it was stressful. It took a good 40 seconds. They were not having a good time out there. But more importantly, Monmouth now taking what could be a 3-point swing off of no time.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Jaden Ellison can do coming back into this game. He didn't play very much against Eastern, but has logged some good minutes for the Scots so far tonight. Bear with his 14th rebound.
I think he kind of got thrown off by the crowd there. They were making noise as he shot the free throw.
Part of that home court advantage everyone talks about in the college game specifically. It's Pee Wee Brown asking for a screen. Trying to get by McNally. Nice move to the basket. Got chest bumped, and he will go to the free throw line.
The late call. I didn't know if he was going to get that or not. But he did get bumped as he went up for the shot. I was surprised it didn't come right away.
Yeah, we've seen maybe 2 or 3 late calls in this game.
Yeah, do you think this is possibly one of those waiting to see if it goes in before calling it, and if it doesn't, then you give it to him?
Yeah, I don't like when refs do that. Call the foul or whatever call it is when it happens.
Yeah, go ahead and call it.
Brown up to 5 points tonight. Led the team in scoring in their game against Aurora with 21. But again, that back injury kept him out for some decent minutes. But also just, he's looked a little slow out there as well.
They're still holding that back on some possessions.
Eureka cutting the lead down to 3, under 10 minutes to go.
You mentioned it earlier in this broadcast, Spencer. Pee Wee Brown free throws have really improved from his freshman year at Lincoln College to now.
It's one of those cool moments seeing a guy, speaking of Pee Wee Brown, picks off a pass in transition over Huber. And it's a 1-point game for the Red Devils.
Brown, he's getting in this game now.
Ellison able to shake Brown for the moment. Logsdon almost jumping that passing lane as well. You can tell the defensive intensity's picked up for the Red Devils now. And two different calls here. We're going to have a conference here. One official called it a charge, one called it a blocking foul.
I think I agree with the official who called it a charge.
Obviously, as a non-biased party.
I think the Pee-wee's getting his opinion known there.
And they're going to have a discussion about this.
Talk about it.
We've seen Dylan Logsdon with 2 charge attempts in this game. Now his twin brother, Blake Logsdon, just got a charge attempt right there.
Maybe it runs in the blood.
Man.
You know, you don't see this very often, especially without replay in Division III, where you're going to have a conference and it's just a lot of, well, I saw this, and they're probably just asking guy number 3, what did you see?
Yeah, I mean, they could always come up here and check our replay if they wanted to.
Just don't show them the angle where it looks worse. 42-41, Monmouth up top. 9:21 left in the second half. It's been a defensive game so far, evidenced by the score being in the mid or low 40s.
Yeah, this has been a very defensive-minded basketball game on both ends at both halves.
They just gave both teams fouls. I don't know if you can call that a double foul as much as it would just be a replay. Right now the board is flashing as if a foul is given to Monmouth.
I don't think I've ever seen a foul called as a charge and a blocking foul at the same time.
Yeah, you know, in football there's the offsetting penalties rule where you just replay it if there is something, but usually it's not on the same exact play where a guy says, no, that's offensive pass interference or defensive.
Well, Monmouth's ball after all this.
But then underneath the basket's interesting because shouldn't that be on the sideline if that is drawn? Either way, pass gets tipped, but Monmouth will get the ball.
Crowd wasn't loving that at all.
Eureka looks like a 2-3 zone. Cross-court pass, Ellison from 3, knocked in.
Yeah, we see his older brother make it. Go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say that beat the shot clock, too.
I was going to say we've seen his older brother make a lot of those in this gym.
I'm sure he's seen enough games of Austin hitting those for the Red Devils. That is the danger of running a 2-3 zone. You do get left susceptible to those 3-pointers.
Yep.
Foul away from the ball. It goes on Sidhu. It feels like there's been more calls away from the ball than normal.
Seems like it in this game.
I think overall in general there have been more calls in this second half.
I would tend to agree. 11 fouls between the two teams. We're going to be looking at bonus free throws soon. Pee-wee Brown guarded in the corner by Jordan Hill. Bear underneath. Sidhu gets him on his hip to the basket. First bucket for Cody Bear in quite some time.
As you can tell, he's a crowd favorite.
Hard not to be when you throw down dunks like he does.
And you're the player of the year.
Yeah, no kidding. 2-point lead from Monmouth. Hill way outside, 15 on the shot clock. Flynn been quiet so far tonight, gets to the mid-range. That will not work. 15 rebounds for Cody Bear. Quick outlet, Brown all the way to the basket, draws some contact from Flynn. And it's one of those that he's going to say he got ball, but it's a lot of hip there too.
Yeah, a lot of people ignore that part. Like, even if you get clean ball, if you get the body-to-body contact, it can still be a foul.
45-43, Pee-wee Brown back at the free throw line.
He's really been more aggressive in getting to the line. But I think this will be free throws number 5 and 6 in this second half.
It's McNally coming back onto the floor. Still tied for the team lead in scoring tonight with 9. Only one player in double digits so far tonight is Cody Bear on either team.
That's an insane stat.
A lot of scoring from a lot of different guys tonight. Brown, 1 for 2 on that trip.
And a double-double for Bear, right?
Yeah, yep.
He's got more rebounds than points.
Double-double machine. Jump stop, Brown. Could have been a travel or a charge or anything. Instead, nothing. Ellison from 3. Not good. Rebounded by McNally. Double team down low. Pitches back. Huber off of 1. No good. Sidhu.
Need the boards.
Still on the glass. It's DeJesus cleaning them. Chance for the Red Devils to go in front. Carter with the basketball.
Got ourselves a good game here.
Carter gets it ripped away by Huber, and he'll pick up the foul there.
Yeah, in the NBA, I think that would have been a take foul.
It's a smart foul. I saw him try to do it earlier. He just tapped somebody on the butt as they were running by, trying to get a foul call, perhaps. Persich back on for Brown. 7:35 remaining in the second half.
You mentioned earlier, nobody else in this game in double digits but Cody Bear. Cody Bear has more rebounds than anyone else has points.
That's a funny stat. Sam DeJesus with 7 rebounds as well. Been a great big off the bench. Nice lob pass underneath. Huber pauses for a moment, spins it up.
And the offense is starting to pick up on both sides.
Traditionally, Eureka's been a pretty three-point heavy team. They've taken 10 tonight. They've hit 2. So a 3-point deficit right now, and there haven't been many 3-point plays either. Bear going to the basket, blocked by Sadhu, still with Bear. Lanes back, and Sadhu with a nice rebound. Under 7 to go in the second half. Sadhu swings Ellison. Back to Huber. Hill. Monmouth with plenty of time on the shot clock. Ellison. Sadhu back up top, trying to drive onto Jesus. To the basket. Shot is up and good.
That was a strong move. Sadhu kind of flexed a little bit as he was coming down the court.
Definitely one of those weight room type takes. Persich to Carter. 3-pointer up from the sophomore. No good. Rebounded by Bear. Scrap for it down low. Takes it up himself through the contact and good.
Probably could have been a foul there, but it's good move by Bear to keep going with it and take it up.
I agree with Ed. He definitely fought through some contact.
3-point lead from Monmouth, back on offense, and that was a bit of a sell job, I'll say. Unless Sam DeJesus really is just that strong.
I could believe both.
DeJesus leads the team in their workouts in the weight room this offseason. And he certainly added some muscle since the last time we saw him, at least in the last season. Obviously, we saw him on Wednesday, and I don't think he's added a significant amount of muscle since that game.
Maybe he could have.
Maybe. Our first timeout of the second half, 49-46, Monmouth leading. 6:05 remaining in the second half. Eureka basketball on ECTV.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Illinois 49-46, Monmouth on the road leading the home Red Devils. And the Red Devils' first home game of the 23-24 campaign. Spencer Davis joined by Kareem Burnett, Ned Hammond. Guys, it's been, I would say, a little bit more exciting in this half than in the first one.
Yeah, it has. We were just saying before we came back on the air, I think it's going to come down to free throws. Yeah, down here with the 6 minutes left, 3-point game in favor of Monmouth College. If they, if the calls start coming on those close-in shots under the basket, it's going to come down to free throws at the end.
I would have to agree with Ed on this one. I mentioned before we left, there's been more ticky-tack and more calls in general been called in this second half, so I could see this ball game coming down to free throws.
Monmouth has taken 8 free throws so far, made 5. Red Devils 10 of 13. With 2 free throws upcoming for Ugarov Sidhu. 8 points, 4 rebounds for the 5th year. Really tough bucket on his last attempt from the field. Shot spins out, Bear rebound.
But nobody's really had a big run in this game. So if you're Eureka College, you want to keep Monmouth from having that because then you can really get it down to free throws.
Bear able to somehow find Brown. Nice move from Brown, and it's a 1-point game once again. That was something we talked about on the car right up to Aurora. How is Cody Bear's passing going to look like this year? It's improved.
I would 100% agree with that, Spencer. He's had about 2 to 3 very good passes, backdoor cuts I've seen in this game. Definitely something he probably worked on in the offseason.
And with a bad lower back, how about that move that Pee Wee was able to make for that basket?
Yeah, in this second half, you can't even tell his back has been hurting. He's been super aggressive and just pulling through it.
It's got to be one of those adrenaline rushes. Nice move from Taylor to get Bear up in the air. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Pee Wee Brown. Perfect box out by Brown.
I was just going to mention that. That's probably my favorite play of the entire night, a perfect box out.
Our coaches always said Carter now firing from 3, knocks it in. Is not what my coaches usually say, but a 2-point lead for the Red Devils.
Man, I know I've been praising him for the last 2 games, but I really, really love what Ben Carter has been doing in these first 2 games. He's really improved as a basketball player.
Back to what I was saying, coaches love it when there's a bounce before the rebound. It means everyone did their job. McNally from the mid-range left way short and rebounded by Pee Wee Brown.
And I think you mentioned twice in this game, who's ever going to be able to go on that run first, going to have a good chance at winning this ball game.
High floater up off the rim, can't get it. 2-on-2 break from Monmouth. Hill looking to go out with Carter. Jump stop, and it's blocked by Carter.
Great defensive possession. Carter, he's just been everywhere. I think Jordan Hill might have got away with a bit of a travel on that play.
Either way, it's a blocked shot. 2-point lead for the Red Devils with a timeout on the floor. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second half. Quick break coming up for you and I. Don't go anywhere. Red Devil basketball on ECTV.
Got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Take ECTV with you wherever you go. ECTV is now available on the all-new Eureka College Connect app. Download the app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. Once you open it, you can click on ECTV to watch us on your smartphone. You can also find our sister station, WEUR. Download the all-new Eureka College Connect app right now. 51-49, Red Devils leading. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half. Spencer Davis, Kareem Burnett, Bradley Legend, Ed Hammond with us. On this fine Friday afternoon, or evening I should say at this point.
We mentioned during the break, whatever Coach Chip said during that timeout, these guys really took heed to it and came out with a fire after that timeout.
There's a Ben Carter block. Encouraged Monmouth to take a timeout at that moment as they try to conjure up some points. Eureka's defensive intensity has really picked up in this second half. Taylor travels.
These last 3 possessions have all been Ben Carter. He got the clutch 3, he got the block, and then he just got a forced turnover right there. He's really impacted this game in little ways.
10 points, 2 rebounds, and assists. A massive 3-pointer and a huge block for Ben Carter so far tonight. And with under 4 minutes to go, still time for another impact play. DeJesus in the high post. Bear, ball loose, and you would have liked to see DeJesus go for that ball.
Yeah, I mumbled under my breath, somebody hustled.
Taylor just throws it right back to the Red Devils. And that's a bit of a break there, I think.
And Eureka on a mini run here. They need to get some more points, but look what they've forced Monmouth to do here in the last couple of minutes. A block shot and 2 turnovers.
The turnover battle starting to become a little bit more even, and now Coach Wilde taking a timeout. With 3:37 left in the second half, 51-49, Red Devils in front. Another quick timeout on the floor, another quick timeout here on ECTV. The Red Devils leading late in the second half.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Notes you kind of jot down, right?
51-49 the score out of the timeout. We've got Ed Hammond with us, jotting down some notes. What you got over there?
Well, I was just talking about the last couple of possessions with the score still 51-49. Eureka's working on a little mini run here. They haven't been able to get any additional points yet, but they have forced Monmouth they had the block shot by Carter and then 2 quick turnovers. So, the defense is still holding firm. Now you're going to have to get keep getting some more points here at the end of the game, and I still say it's going to come down to free throws toward the end.
Not a lot of time left, certainly crunch time here in Eureka. Second game of the season for both teams. Pass gets picked off and was stepping out of bounds at the moment. Student section making noises at somebody down there. I don't know who.
I love our student section.
Some good people down there. Classes with plenty of them.
Yeah, plenty.
Good to see the fans showing support on a Friday night. Jalen Johnson down low for Bear. Power dribble. Somehow finishes on that. It helps me in 6'10".
Yeah, Ben Carter was wide open in that three, but Cody Bear said he was going to do it himself.
It's got to be about a 6 or 8-0 run for Eureka College now.
Which feels massive given this game. There's not been a lot of runs.
Yeah, I think
outside of that initial run, 14-2 for the Red Devils.
Yeah, that's that run Ed was talking about. It looks like Eureka's going to be the one to capitalize off of it.
Taylor left that short. Another rebound for Cody Bear. Give him 19. Persich now, the senior guard out there slowing things down. And this is where it's going to be a real test. Eureka with some younger guys out there with Carter and Johnson. It'll be interesting to see how the senior leadership went off of the leg of somebody. Pee Wee Brown checking back in. For to Jesus.
Jesus, he logged some very good minutes in here. You know, he was playing defense. He was getting on the glass. He was kind of antagonizing the other team.
Another timeout on the floor. We're going to stay here this time. Red Devils, again, like you guys have said, they've been on a bit of a run up with a 4-point lead, 2:44 left. It was looking ugly for a little bit.
Yeah, it was, and Eureka finally got it going here offensively and defensively with this run and those turnovers they were able to force too. And Monmouth missing some shots as well.
Would y'all credit this lead more to the defensive side of the basketball or the offensive side of the ball for the Red Devils?
I'd say defensively last couple or 3 minutes, because there was that one stretch, even though they've had this 6 or 8 point run, they didn't score a lot of points, but they had those turnovers and the block shot. That's where your defense really showed up in this game.
Yeah, I have to agree. The defensive intensity's been there. We saw Monmouth start that run in the first half because they keyed up their intensity on the defensive end. Now the Red Devils took a page out of their playbook, and you know it's working out for them with a 4-point lead. Standout so far tonight, Cody Bear, 17 points, 19 rebounds with a little under 3 minutes to go in the second half of action. Pee Wee Brown up to 11 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Ben Carter also in double digits with 10. David Williams, Brendan McNally, both with 9 each on the side of Monmouth. It's been a very balanced scoring attack. Almost everybody that has entered the game for Monmouth has scored, and it's Declan Flynn, their leading scorer in the last game, who has yet to score. Not on the court right now. They like their options elsewhere. Persich trying to get away from Taylor. It's Brown down low. Bear kicks out. Nice pass to Persich from 3. No good. Bear scrapping for a rebound, ends up in the hands of Williams, and he's tied up, and they're going to get a foul instead on Carter. It'll be Carter's 4th.
Yeah, Spencer, you spoke on it. Cody Bear, as you said, his passing has extremely improved. He just dotted that ball over there quickly to Noah Persich. I thought he was going to make the 3. Didn't happen for us this time.
Kareem, another thing we talked about in between games was the fact that we wanted to see Noah Persich taking more shots. He's at 12 today. He's 3 for 12, so not as good of a performance as you'd like to see, but I think that's important going forward.
Yeah, and sometimes the shots just aren't going to fall. That's basketball in general. You can't make all of them, but like you said, you can always stay aggressive and keep shooting the shots. One of my childhood friends used to tell me growing up, like when I wouldn't shoot the ball, we don't count the misses, we only count the makes.
Lead cut down to 3 at the free throw line. It's David Williams. First player on Monmouth's side to crack double digits. That one spins out. Persich brings it in, trapped quickly. It'll be a 4-on-3 break if Eureka wants it. It's DeJesus. He'll just slow things down. Good play. Persich.
And I think this is going to be our closing lineup. Ben Carter might check back into this ball game.
Persich double clutch and finishes.
And just speaking about Noah, he was 3 for 12, but he's staying aggressive offensively.
He's taken the second most shots tonight, and a timeout taken by Monmouth's bench. A 5-point lead with 2:02 remaining. Red Devils looking for their first win of the season on their home court. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Eureka College basketball on ECTV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Welcome back to Eureka, Illinois, 55-50, Red Devils leading. It's been a scrappy contest so far. We've got a scrappy booth of commentators up here. Spencer Davis, Kareem Burnett, Ed Hammond with you. It's been a fun one, gentlemen.
It has been. Spencer, you were talking about it off camera. Cody Bear up to 19 rebounds on the night. It's like every time I look up, he's somewhere near almost 20 rebounds.
Yeah, last year, Josh and I like to refer to Shakaya Rogers as Ms. Magnets. It always seemed like she came up with the ball somehow. Cody Bear's just like that, especially when the ball goes up.
Yep. He always gets on the glass offensively and defensively. I love to see that from a guy who focuses on both sides of the ball when it comes to rebounding.
Monmouth under 2 minutes ago trying to get back into this one. As we kind of talked about at the break, a three-pointer up from Taylor in the meantime. Offensive rebound by Sadhu. Fresh 20, Taylor thinks about another three, decides against it. Williams now from three, knocked in. Big offensive possession for the Red Devils.
Yeah, and 3 big second chance points there.
Yeah, you was mentioning that earlier. It was another possession. They had 3 second chance points opportunity. They weren't able to score then, but they were this time.
Johnson trapped in the corner, just throws it off of somebody's leg, stays in bounds. To Jesus, outside with Persich, 10 on the shot clock. Persich blowing by, deep 2 up from the senior, and he knocks it in.
2 very clutch back-to-back baskets from Noah Persich. That's that senior leadership right there.
Might have gotten away with the travel. Ball stripped away. 1 minute to go, and Persich is not looking for it. Johnson somehow gets it back.
Noah Persich, he was too busy trying to tell the team to calm down.
He'll have to calm his nerves as he heads to the free throw line for 1-and-1. Persich, a senior out of Peoria, 12 points, 4 rebounds tonight. A 4-point lead for the Red Devils.
And you can tell coming into this game, Noah was really looking to get his more. We got a lot of guys that can play make on this team. We needed him to try to score, especially with Pee Wee dealing with that back thing earlier. And Cody picked up those 2 quick fouls. Senior out of Peoria. Gonna go to the line for 2. Possibly make this a 6-point ball game.
Knocked in. Probably one of the top guys outside of Cody Bear that you want at the free throw line for you.
Yeah, I just trust Noah Persich in the clutch regardless. Offensively, defensively, at the line to make a play.
Persich shot 88% from the free throw line. He's perfect on that trip. 6-point game for the Red Devils. We're going to stay here for this one. Again, Cody Bear, 17 points, 19 boards, 13 points from Noah Persich, now 11 points from Pee Wee Brown, 10 points from Ben Carter. David Williams leading the attack, 13 and 7 on the other side. Guys, with 54 seconds left, Monmouth's likely going to have to play the foul game.
Yeah, and that's probably, and just like they did there to put Persich on the line, Persich has scored the last 6 points of this game for Eureka College. The 2 quick baskets that he had there and those 2 free throws, he's got a chance to make some more because he's going to get to the line some more here.
And I'm glad he didn't let those misses go to his head. We mentioned earlier, a few minutes ago, he was 3 for 12. He's up to 5 for 14 now. He stayed aggressive. He kept shooting the ball, kept getting to the rim, earned himself 2 free throws. As Ed mentioned, scored the last 6 in this game.
It's one of those senior performances you really rely on. We talked about it after Aurora on our way home, like who's going to be the closer for the Red Devils. Right now, Noah Persich doing his best impression, or best audition for it. Screen from Sadhu. Kick to the corner. Williams from 3, knocked in. A big-time 3. And a timeout taken by Monmouth. 41.2 seconds. We always talk about the foul game late in the game. How about the timeout game?
Man, they've been spamming timeouts back and forth. I've lost track of how many timeouts each team has called. A 2 clutch back-to-back threes from Williams there. He's also stepping up on his side of the ball. He got his team last 6 points, and Noah has the Red Devils last 6 points.
Yeah, David Williams, a senior from Monmouth, came into, or last year, had 13 points per game. Shot 35% from 3. Today, he's 4 for 4 from 3. Or excuse me, 3 for 3 from 3.
And I see he also has 7 rebounds to go along with that. He's only missed 3 shots on the night. Great game from David Williams. 41.2
seconds left. Monmouth does not have to foul in this scenario. Any foul for either team is bonus free throws. One more 1-and-1 set. Eureka's going to fan out here at midcourt, try to get anybody open. It's like a reverse type of verticals play. Pass is knocked out of bounds.
Looks like one timeout left for each team. Possession arrows pointing toward Eureka.
And that could be big. Going for a jump ball takes at least 2-3 seconds typically. Carter playing quarterback on this one. Able to find Brown. Nice drag route by Brown. Able to get it up the court. Persic should get an uncontested layup and converts.
Noah Persic, the last 8 points for this team. As I mentioned, he's showing that veteran presence, that senior leadership, and really closing out this ball game.
Williams from way outside does not get it to go down.
And I think that was a bad shot selection by Williams. He just made 2 in a row, but there was some better looks out there for him, and he might have just cost his team this game.
Yeah, probably not the ideal situation for a heat check. Brown, quick inbound. Able to get it back to Carter. Carter able to fling it up the court for Bear. Bear will just dribble it around. He's a good free throw shooter. Doesn't necessarily have to get rid of it.
Persic wanted that one too.
I think they should have gave it to him.
Hey, you might as well take the 2 freebies if you're that close. You've already run enough clock off.
And the other thing too is to bring it back outside and take some more time off the clock too. I mean, I know Persic wanted the ball and wanted the shot, but you take some more time off the scoreboard too, or off the clock.
Maybe he's just feeling himself from the free throw line too. He's made, he's 8 consecutive points for Persic. Missed free throw from Jalen Johnson and a steal almost for Brown. Good hustle. And I'm glad he did not save that.
Me too, because he's already got the back thing going on. But I have to commend Pee Wee Brown for the mental toughness of fighting through that injury. He had 0 in the first half. He scored 11 this half. He's been at it defensively, picking up 94 feet, almost a steal there. Great game by Pee Wee.
Taylor's been effectively locked down for the last 5 minutes. Quick 3-pointer from Williams. Or excuse me, that's Hill. Johnson able to get rid of it. Carter will launch it up to Bear. We'll see if he goes for it, and will lay it up. And that'll conclude things here in Eureka, 63-56. The Red Devils get their first win of the season.
That was a nail-biter.
No better way to describe it. 19 points, 19 rebounds for Cody Bear. But again, guys, we've been singing his praises for the last couple minutes. Noah Persic, I think, was the Iceman tonight.
I was just going to say, if you're going to have a most valuable player in this game, it's got to be Persic. He scored, almost the last points of the game. He scored 8 of the last 10 points for Eureka, 2 of them at the free throw line. Some big free throws there toward the end, too. And Eureka outscored. It was 53-49 with 2:27 left. So Eureka kept firm, kept their defense going, and then Persic got him over the hump.
Yeah, Noah Persic, he definitely was the closer tonight. As we mentioned last game, Spencer, me and you was wondering who were going to be that closer or that third guy. And Noah Persic, he was the first guy today. He really showed up in this last 3 to 4 minutes of this ball game and said, hey, I'm the senior on this team. Let me bring us to the promised land, coach.
Ed, it's been a pleasure having you on. Again, you can
nice to be here.
Yeah, you can find Ed Hammond and his broadcast over at Bradley Women's Basketball. Be sure to tune in there. I know I'm going to be. I've had a lot of fun with him for sure. But our next broadcast of Eureka College basketball will be on Sunday. Sunday afternoon basketball coming at you November 12th, 3 o'clock, when the Red Devils host Cornell right here on ECTV. So we will see you then. But on behalf of our entire crew, my broadcast partner, Kareem Burnett and Ed Hammond, Spencer Davis, thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.